Hello, guys. Welcome back to the Cycles podcast with me, your girl at the Ambo Kisumu City. You're hanging out with me, Mabe Cheryl, and welcome to the 4th episode of the season. On this particular episode, I have the man, the myth, the legend.
Keep going.
I have Eli himself, but I'll let him introduce himself.
This camera here.
So
Hey,
please
guys.
tell us who Eli is.
Hello. Third person or first person? I'll just go. I am Eli MWENDA. Thanks for having me.
For sure.
So I'm an entrepreneur, content creator, and also fellow podcaster.
Okay.
So really excited to have this chat with you.
I really look up to you guys, especially when you guys were being called to South Africa for the Spotify event was actually when I had started recording these episodes professionally.
No way.
So your journey is quite inspiring.
Wow, that's incredible. So you never know who's watching. That's the message.
For sure.
Right? Yeah.
So I wanted to ask you what inspired Man Talk? Why Man Talk?
Ooh, okay, good question. So Man Talk's like a weird story, right? So it started with an idea that a lot of people had at the same time. And we feel like there needs to be a space where men can have candid conversations, which was like the genesis of it. Then one of the people that was part of Man Talk initially owned a barbershop. And he said, when guys come to a barbershop, typically they have really open conversations.
Yeah.
So then we said, let's start chatting in a barbershop. So we did that for a little bit. And then one of the very first people to come on the podcast is our very mutual friend, Mr. Oscar, right? So Oscar comes to the podcast for like one episode. And then I remember me and O, I'm going to keep calling him O when I reference him.
that. It's
Yeah,
okay,
I call him O. So like me and O, before we were recording, we ended up just chatting for a long period of time. And we both just said to each other, dude, you're really smart. And he
Was
like,
that the first time you guys were meeting?
first time we met? Yeah.
Okay.
He was like, dude, you're really smart. And I was like, dude, you're really smart. And I was like, I appreciate that you're smart. He was like, I appreciate that you're smart. And we just kept complimenting each other. We were like, all right, cool. Say less. And then we're recording again. I was like, Oscar, you coming back again? He was like, of course I am. And it kept on going. And then eventually it became just me and Oscar. And then we realized that the initial mission of having honest conversations kind of doubled down when you started to hear the effect it was having. So then we didn't really change our model, but we just basically said that we want to not just have conversations about men. Let's have conversations where men and women get to share experiences, stories, and opinions on like societal issues.
Yeah.
So the genesis of why we started kind of evolved, but it's still at the same core. The word man talk came from like saying, you know, when you talk to a guy, it's like, man, just talk, right? That was literally that. I know it sounds more profound on paper, but like man talk or just like men should talk. But now we want to make it broader. So that's how it came about. It's been 3 years.
That's nice. I have been thinking of having a co-host, but I don't know if I should do it with someone I don't know. Like just we get to know each other off the bat like that.
Yeah.
Or to do it with a friend. But the danger of the
Doing it with
friendship part
Yeah.
or bringing someone on board is we might not share the same vision. So I might want this more than they do.
That's
and
so
then
true.
ultimately
That's
it will affect.
Yeah. And then the thing is, you've kind of already built something.
For sure.
So then it's like now they're plugging into where you've already started. Because we've had guys say, oh, can we join Man Talk? And it's like, But at the same time, it's nice having someone that you can bounce ideas off. So like, if you're nervous, for instance, you have like a co-host, or if there's a topic you want to get insight on, but you want to cover one angle, maybe your co-host would like think of another angle, and you kind of come in the middle. So it's nice to have someone to bat things off. But I hear you about the commitment thing. It's tough being like, we have to come and shoot every day here, and then someone else has a schedule. It can be complex.
True.
Yeah.
So aside of Man Talk, you also do a lot of things. And
Maybe too
one
much, yeah.
thing I know you for is the Instagram, I'm sorry,
Insta Market.
Insta Market.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
tell us about that.
Okay. So low key, when it comes to Insta Market, I've tried to like back away from being the person that made it. Like I'm trying to make it be its own thing so people don't associate it with me.
Okay.
But naturally, we're still working on that. So basically, Insta Market, again, there's a consistent theme we'll talk about when I'm talking about myself and the things I do. It's basically a platform where, again, the genesis of how we started is very different to what it is now. So the idea of Insta Market was trying to make a community where influencers can come and sell their pre-loved clothes.
Okay.
There was a point in time when I first came here that a lot of guys wanted to shop my clothes, but they didn't have a chance to like come and see it physically. So I went around to all these flea markets around Nairobi, like, can I get a table? Can I get a table? Can I get a table? They're like, no, 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 no. I was like, okay, but I have customers ready. Then I kind of reacted, got a little bit angry, and I was like, fine, I'll just make my own market. So I made a market with my sister. She was here at the time as well. And it was supposed to be like 10 influencers that just take over like a small section. We all sell our clothes, we go home, we close the Instagram page. But then when we started the first event, we realized that there's so many other businesses that basically want to have that platform where there's going to be influencers to now share their products and interact with customers. So then at the end of that market, it went really well, and everyone was like, when's the next one? And we had so many businesses sign up. And then it changed from me just wanting to get rid of my clothes. I didn't even sell my clothes that day because I was so busy. To now the whole event was about now these small businesses selling their stuff. So that was in 2019. So now what it is it's a monthly event that goes around Nairobi. A lot of the time we're in Anzana Gardens for the last few. I don't know when this goes out. I think it's this week, right?
Okay.
So
no, this one goes out next week. Yeah.
Next week. So we would have just finished being at Shoke Shoke Festival.
Okay.
So we go to different locations.
All right.
And we host on a Saturday. We get about 60, 70 vendors. And then they're all from Instagram. Give them a chance to interact with people. There's like music, vibes, games. So it's just a good time.
It's vibes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
vibes.
Businesses.
Yes.
Connoisseur.
Connoisseur. Was that French? I don't know.
No.
So yeah, that's the.
I don't know if guys are you guys afraid? Do you guys hold back at saying their age? Because I feel like that's a thing with women. Where if you ask someone their age, they're usually hesitant to answer.
Yeah.
Is that something you're conscious about?
No. I like being 30. I love it. I'm 30
30
years old.
on the dot.
On the dot.
Okay, so you're first to categorize you, to generationalize you.
If you just say old, I will leave.
Is it millennial? Is it? What are you?
I'm like on the cusp of millennial. Like I'm millennial.
You're
Because
millennial.
millennial goes from 60 to 90 something. I'm like 1 or 2 years. I'm just in.
To 90 what?
Is it 96?
And then from
I think
96.
it's 96, then it's Gen Z. I believe. We can Google that, but I'm pretty sure
Gen Z.
it's 96.
I keep saying I'm not Gen Z.
No, you're
I'm not Gen
babe,
Z.
if you're
But anyway, I don't know. There's a beef. I feel rather
Mm.
that there's a beef between millennials and Gen Z,
Mhm.
and I feel like millennials hate Gen Z with a strong passion, and I don't know where it's coming from. But I can't see where it's coming from.
Yeah,
Because I
yeah.
feel like a lot of you guys, let me just say it.
Wow. you guys,
Okay, sorry.
Wow,
Yeah,
you're
so when you're representative upper. So you guys feel if I take it back to like maybe your upbringing, I feel like when you guys were growing up, being vocal was something you could only dream about, especially at home.
Yeah.
So I feel like that also spilled to like school, and so standing up to a teacher,
Yeah.
standing up to a workmate that was, or a superior that was maybe looking down on you or maybe
Yeah.
bullying you was difficult.
It's like a no, yeah.
So now us, we've come in and all these mental health campaigns are going on, all
Yeah.
these campaigns on being vocal, communicate. So
Yeah,
we've taken it quite literally to the point where we just don't see things happening and we keep quiet.
Yeah.
And I feel like it rubs you guys the wrong way, almost to a point that you feel you're being disrespected and stuff like that. So
Yeah,
what's your opinion on
I take. You keep saying you guys. Didn't we just establish?
Okay, so I've stopped. Millennials.
Yes, us millennials. No, I completely hear you, right? I think I'm kind of jealous of Gen Z because I feel like those guys have.
Us guys, we that uncle. Okay, fine.
I feel like I think they're kind of fixing what's been broken for a long period of time. Fixing in the sense that the kind of like systems, the kind of mentalities, there were so many silos and such a lack of information that stuff like say gender inequality, right? Something like that, it carried on for such a long period of time because there wasn't multiple streams of like income somebody can take, because income equates to like, power, and you can do more things. And now when the monopoly kind of was dispelled, you find that you've got so many other types of people making so many other types of lives and like opinions. So then if a lot of people are kind of empowered, you start challenging the norms, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like they've come into that space where, because there's the internet, because you can literally learn about anything from TikTok.
Yeah.
When a teacher says something to you, you're like, I actually heard on TikTok that it's
That
like
it's not
it's
like
like this,
that.
right?
Yeah.
So I'm kind of jealous that when they're in their formative years, because I think your brain stops developing at 25. That
Stops or starts?
Stops, yeah.
So
Well, yeah.
you're saying where you are now?
5 years ago, it just, yeah. So I feel like for them, having the internet during their formative years is such like an amazing power. And I feel like if you've got a whole cohort and generation of people that have developed in a diverse way over a period of time, now when it comes to them being the people that are leading, it's such like a beautiful thing because you're going to have so much like either diversity, different ways of thinking, and just a sort of better world.
Being open as well.
Yeah, so I'm kind of annoyed I missed that boat. But in terms of them having beef, I definitely see it. So, example, I'm a middle child, right? I've got a father.
Copycat.
Yeah, you're a middle child as well.
Yeah.
How's it going? Is everything okay? It's tough, huh?
Well, okay.
It's tough.
We're sailing.
It's rough. So, being the middle child and observing having a brother that's a millennial and having a sister that's Gen Z, I literally see it like day to day. It's hilarious. So, my brother, obviously, so for context in my family, we're like second generation, right?
Okay.
So my brother was brought up in an environment where they've just emigrated. And so, you're in a new environment, everything's very strict. It's still the 90s, like late 80s, and your parents are doing something a different way. They haven't had access to internet as well, so they're very stuck in their ways, right?
Yeah.
Then my sister comes along, 98, so she's just a Gen Z, and she's kind of graduating or doing secondary school, high school, at an age where there's the internet. So now she has such a freedom, and she can literally sit at the dining table and just challenge everyone and be like, no, it's giving. Like, it's just, you know what I mean? Like, so I literally watch the contrast. It's like, how is she getting away with this? How does she have so much information? And when I was 25, I was just going to school to do international relations, and then I was going to get a job, and like, that was my path. And she's like, no, I want to make like content, and that's going to be my job. So I see the frustration from both, and then Gen Z being very audacious and being like, you're a millennial, you don't actually know what you're talking about, and a lot of the time they're actually right. So I see the beef day to day, but I'm kind of on Gen Z side. I low-key wish, low-key,
because you wish you were.
Exactly.
I really do appreciate where we're coming from and where we're headed. The only thing I'm not sure about, and I'm very conflicted, is have you worked formal employment before?
Yes, I've worked many. Okay, so I've had lots of jobs in formal employment, but not corporate. I didn't get to corporate because after, so context, my first job was in a bakery, right? I think I was like 15 years old. Yeah, I was in a bakery. I used to get hot behind the stove. I was a little baker boy. Then I worked in restaurant business. I used to have a boss that was an old like Italian man with one eye, and he was slightly mental. So I used to, like genuinely, like he had problems.
Okay.
So he was just really angry all the time. So that was my second job. Then after that, I went into retail. Then afterwards, I worked with one of my friends that had a entertainment company while I was also at uni. Then after uni, I went into business. So I've only had those kind of different retail jobs, baker boy, and restaurant business.
So I've had experience in corporate, and the people who sit at the helm of leadership are way older, our parents now. And then now they've employed millennials who are like there almost at the top as well. And then now there's us who are coming in. Yeah. So the thing that baffles me really is, as Gen Z, yes, we like to challenge systems that we don't think are working and stuff like that. So the challenge I have is marrying organizational culture that you found. Like there's a set way they've decided we're going to be running our business like this. This is how disputes are resolved and etc. And if a senior talks to you in a way that you don't feel, you just have to like take it because it's what do they call it? Hali ya maisha. Let me just say that it's the way things go.
Okay, yeah.
So how do you marry that and also knowing this is bad, this is toxic, and so it's either that or you lose your job. And it's something I've seen. I've seen recently, where I don't know if you saw this story where there was a recruiter who was interviewing people, and then she I don't know how she saw that someone wasn't wearing a panty.
How? Wait, what kind of job was this?
And then she brought it online. So what she did was now conclude that this person who wasn't wearing innerwear was a Gen Z. So she started to say that Gen Zs are problematic, and that's why I reached to a conclusion that there's really it's beef, and they're going all out to make sure we look like we're bad people. So how do we make sure as Gen Z we just either stay out of trouble,
Mm.
or even when you express yourself,
Mm.
you do it in a way that millennials don't
Yeah,
feel.
yeah. I think because I can't come from a corporate angle, I can talk to how I've educated people of the older generation, right? If whether it's a social circle, whether it's a peer, because I'm not in like formal employment.
Yeah.
I work in business. So what I've realized is that as much as yes, you can have a very like valid worldview and a very very informed worldview as well. A lot of the time, you can kind of be warped by your own findings and assume that everybody's going to get to that same conclusion the same time as you.
Yeah.
So typically, like you're saying, in that work environment, you want to express that at the highest level and be like, no, this is the way it is, and I've recently read this. But then I always try to remember that before I read this, I didn't have any other opinion. So before you read this, you're going to have a different opinion. So what I've realized talking to older people is kind of giving them the time, because I know a lot of the time that yes, these systems have been wrong, but nothing changes sort of overnight. If we're talking about anything that's systemic, a system is built over time. So you can't sort of tear down a system in an instant
one night,
after we get information
To the
from, I don't want to say
contrary.
from TikTok because that really undermines everything, but a lot of it might be. So I think it's kind of like a waiting game, or in my opinion, I think the best thing to do is build your own system while you're in that one, so that either this goes really right, you get to build whatever you want to build, or go to a newer institution that's been built by somebody that shares your values, or within this one, kind of bide your time, climb the ladder, sort of pay your dues, and then
Now
after
you
a certain
can
amount of
start
time, you're going to be the person that
to
gets to now
influence,
influence
yeah.
the decisions and the cultures within a workplace. But I think patience. I do feel bad for the older generation sometimes. I've seen it with my dad. Like I'm like, so one of the things, and this is why I knew it was like a very compelling topic, right? We talked about on our TikTok for our podcast, we talked about weaponized incompetence, right? It was like a clip that did really well. And that's because a lot of people didn't know what the term meant. And it goes back to the thing I mentioned about my sister at a dining table saying to my dad and my brother, like, yo, guys, you know what's happening in this house? It's weaponized incompetence. You guys are not doing the task, etc., etc., etc. And imagine telling like a 65-year-old man that, and he's like, weaponize that? Weaponize what? Right? But then it's like, now that he knows, it's like, now what's the saying? Like, I know better now, I do better.
Yeah.
So like for him, it's like you can't expect him now, after learning the term weaponizing competence, the next day to wash all the dishes and change the beddings, and it's kind of a process. So I think as much as they're kind of allowing us to discover new worldviews through the resource of the internet, we also need to allow them to have time. But there's also a line you draw when it's like detrimental to your health, mentally or physically. But that's my opinion. I
also agree with you. I usually do feel bad for them, especially when we're now family gatherings and now you see them. And it's just, okay, I'm not saying it in a bad way, but it's just, oh my God, you guys, your upbringing, I really can't blame you.
No,
it has a lot to do with where they came from, where the people that raised them came from. So us expecting them to just fall in line or just
change like that, right?
is practically impossible. So with that, I think we've reached a middle line, and I like that you've said to give them time, where if you learn something new, it just doesn't click immediately. You give it time, and then kidogo you'll see them adjusting or even being accommodative, if not doing a 360.
Exactly.
So after that, I'd like us to move to another segment where we're gonna play Song Association. Have you played that before?
I have not.
So it's basically a game. There's a jar here. Let me just get it. There's a jar here, and it has like one word. And you have to sing a song.
Sing
with the word.
Okay.
Like sing like a purpose.
Like S-I-N-G.
But I know so I don't know if I'll take one and then you take one.
Okay.
Like that.
First.
Sorry, and then you go first.
Wait, what, ladies first? No? I believe ladies first.
Ladies, sawa.
Yeah, I insist.
Sawa. Yes, so... And then I'll tell you who wrote this word.
Can I peek at mine first, just mentally prepare myself for...
If you fail, I'll tell you who set you up.
Okay.
So mine is kitenge. I think it's obvious. Sasa ninavalisha kitenge. Mzazi akupende.
Who sings this song?
It's Nviri.
Oh, I should know this.
You don't.
I hear it in a different key normally. That's why. Okay.
You go next.
Say the word again.
Kitenge.
Oh yeah.
This is kitenge.
When he goes. Okay, yeah, that makes okay.
That's my
bad. Yeah, C sharp. Yeah.
Hiya. What's the word? Tell me
Oh,
the
okay.
word.
It's 2 words.
Two words.
Yes. It's the one.
The one.
Mm.
Ah.
What's that? Baby, you're the one. You still turn
Eli,
me on.
which
You can make me
generation is
whole
this?
again. Google it. It's a fantastic song.
By who?
It's by it's a girl band.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow, that's embarrassing. Yeah, it's a girl band.
Mm-hmm.
It's like looking back from where we first met. I think it's something sisters.
So just get
Something
the one
sisters.
Apple. What is
Yeah,
the one?
link in bio. I don't know.
What's the one?
No, baby, you're the one.
Okay.
You still turn me on. That one. That's the
So,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Let's make it easy. I'm picking 3.
Three.
And then you pick 3 as well.
Because of our backs.
So yeah, I care about you. You're a millennial. You're 30.
Our millennial.
Yeah. You stopped growing.
Huh?
Somehow.
Mentally. Okay, what 3? Yeah.
Yeah.
3. 1, 2, 3.
Is there any more left?
There's one left. Is that like the
1-1.
deal breaker?
Deal. Yeah.
Okay.
This is someone. Snaya? No. I was gonna say Snaya's just somebody. It's not someone. I'm a someone, somebody in synonyms.
Think Apple. If you don't have an Apple, you have a Adele.
Never mind, I'll find someone.
There we go.
You're so kind. We're competing and you're helping me.
I mean, it is
You're
what
a
it
good
is.
millennial.
Yeah, it's a collaboration, right?
Hi.
That was nice. Is this from someone else's? I've seen a piece of paper. Okay. I have to keep track of which one. As you've been doing this season by season, have you gradually been getting better with song association?
Song association.
Yeah.
I think I've played it once before. I thought you were asking me, have I been getting better and better with podcasting and stuff? Are you buying time?
Yeah. Oh God. The word is God.
The word is God.
Yeah.
Eh.
I know God did.
I thought you'd sing a gospel song.
Oh.
DJ Khalid. No, it's
One
okay.
second.
It's
Let me just tap in. I really said DJ Khaled. My parents would be so disappointed.
Do you go to church?
I do.
You do?
Yeah.
Every Sunday?
Yeah.
I'm a SDA.
Well, so like as many Sundays as I can.
Okay.
As many Sundays as I can.
You're going to heaven.
Thank you.
Okay.
You're not coming?
If I'm not there, you're not in
I have
heaven.
a plus one.
If I'm not in heaven, you're not. If I'm not there, you're not in heaven.
Serious?
Mm.
Damn.
Oh, we'll quote after gospel. Must we imbe? Must we imbe
Mas-
your gospel?
Mass Wimbe.
Okay. You have to sing the gospel.
Oh, that's it?
The gospel song.
I thought I heard mass and I thought we were talking like Catholic. I was like, huh?
Are you Catholic?
No.
Oh, sorry.
No, that's why I was so confused.
Now you're not going to heaven for sure.
Tough.
Hi.
Tough.
Mine is come through. You should come through tonight. Honey, gonna live the best life. I born to G.
Someone's singing on set.
We don't know the rest of the lyrics. Higher.
So because I did this word is higher.
Higher.
Higher, not as in hire somebody, as in like higher.
Oh.
And since I didn't do since I didn't do a God song for a Christian song for this one, I'll do a Christian song for this one.
Yeah, okay.
Higher, 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 higher.
Yo, ni kigani like.
Lift Jesus higher.
I have work. I was also going to do a gospel. I didn't want to say the obvious one. I'm not saying the obvious one.
Work as in, okay, yeah. As in not higher, as in work, yeah.
God will work it out.
In every situation. That one?
We'll work it out.
Maeve, go on.
Thing I know. What does that sound?
Was a no. That was actually, listen. This was just so you can sing for everyone. This Loki, this whole game.
We were trying to get back to the Nini. Someone threatened me.
What did they say?
They told me to get back to music or they stop listening to the podcast.
My goodness.
I'm not trying to have trying to have anybody stop listening to the podcast. So.
No, okay. Oh, so you want to give a little segment, you tease them with some notes, and you go back to, you've got this figured out.
How many are this? How many are
there's
left?
One,
are you done?
There's one. I have only one left, and the word is only.
Lonely.
Only.
Only. You have only one.
You're a singer. I seem to be a rapper today. I don't know what's going on.
I'm not a rapper.
Only. Why? There's the Kanye West song. Do we still sing Kanye West? We still had to.
Yeah, you won't be cancelled.
Wait.
I apply.
My only one. No, there's that Kanye song, no?
Which one?
No. The song is literally called Only One. And it's like when he was trying to sing. No, Only by Kanye West. Okay, can someone else just write the
You're
Only
out
One?
of the
I don't know. But the
game.
song is called Only One. Like if you Google Only One Kanye
But I
West.
can't even see
But
any
now I
song with
can't
the word
remember
only.
It's not a great song, I'll be honest with you. That's maybe why.
Okay, let's think gospel.
Gospel.
Maybe the Holy Spirit will guide us.
What? Won't he do it? Won't he do it? Okay.
Only.
No.
Akuna tunatunga. We're literally coming up with a song right now.
I have to think of it, don't I? We can't. Okay. There's
Only love can hurt like this.
Beautiful.
Amazing. This last one is
Thank you.
motivation.
Kelly Rowland.
Motivate. Baby, I'm gonna be a motivation. Go hard.
When's the last time you listened to that song, mate?
A long time ago.
Wow, sorry about
long
that.
time ago. So I think we've tied.
Yeah.
No,
I'd say
we haven't tied. I've helped you. I've won.
I helped you too. I said Adele.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mwenda uko. So
yes.
this brings us to the end of the episode. It was so nice.
Is there not another? Is there not? Is there one more jar we can?
It was so nice to have you.
Fun. Thanks.
But you can commit to coming again.
I'm down.
Coming
I'm
back
game.
again.
I'm game. You have my number, so you just let me know. Virtual.
You know this is serious.
Yeah,
if you
no,
break
I'm trying to align it so that we're
Oh.
actually pinky promised.
I
And
can't
that's
see my lashes.
tough,
Yeah.
but they look good. Though,
So thank you for coming,
Thanks
Eli.
for having me.
It's been nice to have you.
Mhm.
Thank you for watching this episode, and I'd like you to subscribe to this channel if you haven't. Also, be sure to comment on what you feel about the Gen Z versus millennial conversation. Do you think millennials have beef with us? Do you think us Gen Z are going about things the wrong way? Let me know, and see you on the next episode. Bye.
Bye. That was really fun.